Corey,
Yes, Josh.
before we get out of here, what do you say that we go and we jump into a little bit of not really lore, but a little story corner?
Let's do a story corner. Side tangent. Story corner.
Yes. I do not believe we have done these. I want to be really clear. I don't remember if we've done these. It's been a very long season. It's been the entire summer since we started doing these.
Mm-hmm.
This first one is it's the exotic shell from Solstice of Heroes, the Filigree of Light. Light is both delicate and unbreakable, like core array. Crow sat high on the walls, looking past the future war cult sentinels to focus, instead of on the crowd of Eliksni below. He wished he could be on the ground, helping them acclimate. Though his stay with the spider had been traumatic, he had fond memories of the Eliksni who helped him adjust to life on the shore. He longed to return to goodwill. But Zalval had given him strict orders to stay out of sight. It was a directive he had nearly contradicted in breaking up the previous week's sabotage. He was reluctant to put himself in hotter water for the sake of sentimentality. At least Glint can still have fun, he thought. 3 stories below, a gaggle of Eliksni hatchlings chased Glint through the ruins. Crow had dispatched the ghost to do some reconnaissance in case of another violent confrontation. But the instant attention of the hatchlings blew Glint's cover, and he seemed delighted in his demotion from spy to playmate. The ghost chirped in glee as the hatchlings scrambled around on all sixes, trying to catch him. He stayed just beyond reach, twisting and turning through the rubble, doubling back so the smaller ones at the back of the pack could have a go. Letting them enjoy themselves, Crow thought. Things will get worse before they get better. They deserve every scrap of joy they can find. I do think after reading this that we did this before. Mm-hmm. It feels very familiar. I think we actually may have done it like at the beginning of Solstice, but like we said, it's been a very long season. I think this is it's a nice little tale. I mean, we've said time and time before how not everything needs to be this universe-altering lore. Sometimes getting these quiet stories, like one of my favorites that we've read on the show is The Bookie from Guardian Games.
Yeah, dude, that's so funny.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely
fantastic.
So
good.
And we had some really heartfelt ones earlier this season with, Shax or Saladin and Faux Cyrus.
Yeah.
With
I mean, even Shax last week with Ada and Hawthorne, right? Like, I mean, just like little bits and pieces of
Shax and Mithrax talking about the Battle of Twilight Gap and how they were both there, how they slaughtered each other's comrades.
Yeah,
and even Saint's legend amongst the Eliksni, how he's viewed as a literal demon by them, and how much that goes on to profoundly affect him. There's just so many, and this next one, I get a feeling that we've done this one too, but we're gonna do it again anyways. It's for Reese Racer. It's the Exotic Sparrow out of the season pass. Amanda Holliday sat cross-legged on the floor of the hangar, hands propped on her knees and elbows bent as she leaned forward. Showering sparks rained down on her clothes and bare arms, mutely reflected in her welding goggles. The prickling sensation of the sparks on her skin was comforting and familiar. So too was the half-finished Sparrow refit her new assistant was working on. But the assistant, that was taking some getting used to. I don't know why this is so surprising, Amanda said as she looked over the Eliksni Vandal working on a pair of arc welders held in 4 hands. She laughed to herself, rubbing her cheek as a spark bounced off of it. Always wondered how y'all built stuff so fast. The Eliksni engineer, Niik, winked 3 eyes in Amanda's direction before returning her attention to the welding work. Easier to see, too. No ice shields, Niik explained with a smile. Eliksni eyes quick better than human, then quieter. Not as much as before home, but what do you mean? Amanda wondered. Niik stopped welding, set her tools down and reclined back with 2 hands on the concrete floor and 2 folded in her lap. She looked up at the ceiling and sighed a faint ether mist. Story lives greater now than true selves, Niik explained, then looked sidelong at Amanda. We all lost purpose after. Niik carefully considered the proper human words. Our golden age. It was Amanda's turn to sigh, more so in regret than Niik's sigh of patience. You ever ridden a sparrow before? She asked in an attempt to change the tone of the conversation. She hadn't considered the question before asking it. Niik shook her head and focused the attention on the half-finished machine in front of her. Too small, she said, with a shrug of her upper shoulders. Pike's stronger, but quick run. Amanda couldn't help but laugh at that. Darlin', she said through the laughter, ain't no pike faster than my sparrow. Niik's eyes lit up and she sat forward at the perceived challenge. Amanda remembered the last radio conversation she had with Crow, an Eliksni phrase he used, a friendly challenge. Her pronunciation was not quite right, but the intention was. Niik delighted at the interaction. Your boasts are hollow hull, Niik said with a growl of laughter and clambered up on one knee. Amanda's eyes widened for just a moment when it looked like Niik was going to pounce on her, as if she had somehow said the wrong phrase or challenged the vandal to a duel. No weapons were drawn, however. Instead, Niik offered 2 hands to help Amanda up from the floor. She pulled her up with ease. Are we gonna race? She asked with a nervous flutter and a crooked smile. Niik nodded enthusiastically. Yes, race.
Ooh.
I love it. I love this so much. To me, this is the latest in a long-running wink-wink joke that they know that we want Sparrow Racing League and they just aren't bringing it back.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. We've had Marcus Wren show up in the lore.
You don't think it'll come back this season because of the long season? Like, that seems like something that would
If you were ever going to do it, this is the time, I feel.
Yeah.
But we also said that last year. And I
feel but we didn't have a 6-month season last year.
You did. Arrivals to Beyond Light was 5 months.
Was it really?
June, God. July, August, September, October, November.
God, I guess it was. Jesus. Okay.
It was. Cause it felt less long, I think, because we had moments of triumph in there to distract us like a month in. Yeah. And they just left it up for the whole season. So all anybody was wanting to do was raid.
Right.
And do dungeons. We had Prophecy to help distract us. We had the awesome storyline with Nokris.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm very curious to see how they handle this fall, because you'll have Festival of the Lost, you'll have the Dawning.
Yay.
I think SRL should be slid in there somewhere, but I just don't know where you put it. It depends on how long the delay into 2022 is, right?
Yeah.
If it's going to be any farther than like the second week of February, then yeah, maybe you bring SRL in halfway through January.
Right, and run it through
as like an end of season treat.
Or like run it through like Valentine's Day or something, right? Like,
I personally think that they should use this and replace Guardian Games with Sparrow Racing League.
Yeah.
Or at least make that part of Guardian Games.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that this is really cool, and I think this sets a precedent for things we could see in the future. You know, Eliksni joining us in combat, us driving an Eliksni pike around that has the speed of a sparrow.
Oh God.
Or something like that. Like that Amanda's retrofitted one for us, or like we're in a tank and like they're escorting us or something like that. I think there's so many cool things you could do here, but also I really just want to see Marcus Wren show up for the first time in canon. Like, not in the lore, but show up as an actual NPC riding a pike, like a turbo-bursted pike, into SRL, since he's the reigning champion and all that. I'd love to see that. You know, his name's been kicked around as a hunter guard, which at this point feels like it's Crow more than ever. I would love to see some of these fabled characters. I want Niik. I want to say, I don't know if it's spelled, it's Niik. I don't know if it's pronounced Niik or Nick. I'm saying Niik because of the 2 eyes. I would like to see this Eliksni as Amanda's vendor, since she doesn't sell us anything anyways. Have Niik be
excuse me, she's vendor. The Twitch Prime vendor. Thank you.
That's what I just said. Have Niik do it. I'll get better stuff, I promise you.
Oh man, that's cool. I hope we get a Sparrow that's designed like a pike. Like, even if we don't, you know what I mean? Like, I know you kind of just said that, but I think that would be really cool. Like, as a, I don't know, like a unlockable or season pass thing or something you could buy from the store. I don't know. I think that's cool.
Right.
So that was a good story corner, Josh.
Very good story corner.